What's going on, guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and in this one we are talking about the Heavy Bowgun. Today was the Bowgun focus, Light Bowgun, Heavy Bowgun. We got videos on both, and first we're going to dive into the Heavy Bowgun because, there's some pretty cool additions. There's a couple of things that are kind of coming back to a certain degree that we haven't seen in Monster Hunter World before, and there's some really cool new things you can do thanks to the Clutch Claw, and basically, all up, they've just gone and made the Heavy Bowgun pretty meaty. So if you guys do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this, and of course don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future Monster Hunter content. Now the very first thing we see, again talking about the armor before we dive into the actual moves, this is Master Rank Great Girros gear, which looks really cool. To be honest, I've always liked Great Girros gear, and I kind of wish it had more value towards endgame even in World. So I'm loving the way that it looks, and especially when you actually see the render on the title screen, there's a hood on one of them as well, so that's got this kind of like Assassin's Creed vibe to it. I'm definitely on board with that. As for the gun itself, this is a Tsitsuyaku Heavy Bowgun, so looking pretty sweet. But let's talk about that intro, because, there's a couple of cool things here. The very first thing, after unsheathing it, we see the hunter actually equip a new scope. There's a special scope which allows you to fire in first person. This is something that we'll see in a minute in the gameplay, but this is something that you used to be able to do in previous Monster Hunter games. It wasn't that you would kind of attach a special scope specifically. First person was just a way you could play. In World, of course, given the way that the bowguns changed the way that you kind of handle them, it doesn't necessarily work the same way, but first person is back with a vengeance, and we'll speak more about that in a second. And then, of course, we see some, typical machine gun fire. So the very first shot, again, just goes to show that, even while you're shooting, even with a heavier, slower weapon like the Heavy Bowgun, you can still work your slinger shots into your combos, or into kind of, in between your shots, should I say, so you can create yourself openings, so that's pretty handy. Again, every weapon can do that. But the next scene, this is rather interesting, because the actual audio description, the audio line, the voiceover line on the video, specifically stated that the Heavy Bowgun is the only heavy weapon that can actually soften up a monster's hide while mounted. So, obviously we know there's kind of this new mechanic whereby when you grapple on, you can then deal damage and then weaken that area, so then subsequent attacks do more damage. So, not quite sure how that will differ for the Heavy Bowgun, but the way they phrased it makes it sound like it's based on being mounted. Either way, what we see here is very cool. The hunter grapples on and then puts the gun into the side of Devil Joe's head and just unloads the machine gun fire. Like, that is the definition of overkill. It is absolutely insane, and I love it. So that's cool. But then this is where we get to the cool stuff. So this is where they talk about the special scope. You can see that you equip it. So I'm not entirely sure how this works in gameplay, whether it'll be, say, like a particular type of bowgun, much like how we have now, the difference between, say, the single Wyvern snipe, or of course the machine gun fire, or whether it's a particular mod that you can then use. That much we're gonna have to find out. But you equip this scope, which they're calling the special scope, and it lets you fire in first person. So again, for those of you that started Monster Hunter with World, you might not have experienced this before. In previous Monster Hunter games, you used to be able to fire in first person, but again, given the way that they changed the way you control the weapon, it wasn't something they brought over to World. But now you can use the special scope to go into first person, and they reference something called super critical range. Now, of course, bowguns and bows work around a mechanic known as critical distance, so you want to make sure you fire at the optimum distance to make sure you're dealing the most damage. Of course, if you're too close and too far away, you lose that. But there's now a new system called super critical range, where you can basically deal maximum damage. If you look at the scope, you'll see he scopes in to begin with, and then the scope itself changes, and I'm guessing it changes to kind of indicate that you are at super critical range. He then fires off this massive shot, and then it triggers a hefty explosion. So, yeah, and also to kind of point the video, they actually said, Greatsword, there's another heavy hitter in town, so, maybe Heavy Bowgun is going to be putting out some insane damage. Can't wait to see that. Again, I cannot wait to mess around with the mods. The kind of running theme that we see from both Light Bowgun and Heavy Bowgun seems that they're going to be giving us plenty of opportunities to mess around with the guns and tweak how we want to use them, so I am very excited to check these out. But anyway, that's it for the time being. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more Monster Hunter content. I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also click on the little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. Also, don't forget, you can check out 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. Be sure to drop by and get involved. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.